Hey, Adam.
Yes,
Are
Tim.
you ready?
I'm sorry.
Are you
What?
ready?
What was that?
Are you ready?
We're ready for what?
You'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And this week we've got ratings to talk about. We've got contracts to talk about. We really don't have a whole lot of speculation, but we're going to speculate about the speculation. All right, let's go ahead and start this off. We're going to kick it off with the hardcore stuff right away. AEW is back in the lead of having the ratings again. It's awesome. That's 8 weeks of being number one on Wednesday night to NXT's measly two little weeks. And
Well, we kind of figured that they would win last week because it's the pay-per-view bump that you normally get after a pay-per-view.
Yep.
And after NXT's win over the main roster, that was going to probably do it. Also, I found out that there was actually a basketball game going on that same night that also drew a lot of attention, which is why the numbers were down.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's the
think
night
the Knicks
before
were playing.
Thanksgiving. Nobody
Yep.
was really paying attention. But yes, I actually saw that a number of fans were watching NXT to see if there was any repercussions from the main roster, Raw and SmackDown, on NXT that night, and none of that happened.
Yep. And so this week, after that not happening, then the people who only care about the main roster stop paying attention to NXT again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they made a few new fans to keep the ratings close for another week. An ultimate losing effort, but at the same time very close because it was close.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, between NXT and AEW this week, it was exactly 6,000 difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that ratings-wise is really close to one another.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good. I mean, when you have a war going on, that's great for both companies.
Yes. I mean,
We'll see if that continues, though,
I would like...
for the future.
Yeah, I would love to see, though, both companies breaking a million views or a million viewers.
We're not going to see that this year. We'll see it probably by the end of next year, I think.
I'm hoping so.
Because AEW, even though they're in their 10th week of TV, they're still working things out.
Yeah, it's only been 10 weeks.
So they're still working things out. Like, one of the biggest criticisms, besides the whole like the refs not enforcing the rules element, was AEW's women's division. That being second, like the only main really story that they had was by accident, which led to a pre-show match between Dr. Britt Baker and crap, I can't think of her name.
Nyla Rose?
No, it was crap. I can't think of her name, which goes to show you that they're not. I don't
Bea Priestley.
remember one of their. Yeah.
Okay.
Bea Priestley. Yeah, like it goes. That's a problem. Can't even think of the person's name.
For crying out loud, you need to pay better attention then, man.
Well, maybe they need to do their women's better. But they seem to be doing better because this past last night, because we're recording this on Thursday, is they actually had 2 women's matches on the card and they actually did a segment with Awesome Kong and Brandy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, though, from what it sounds like from Wrestle Talks, I didn't watch that part. I only watched Harika. I can't say her name now. Sheeta had a match, so I had to watch her. That was me, by the way.
Okay, I was trying to figure out where that ding came from because I have everything on my side on silent right now.
My phone's on silent, but because my messages is from another link to the computer, it dinged over there for some reason. But anyway, apparently a lot of people aren't liking what they're going with Brandy and her Nightmare Club or
Yeah.
collective. People are saying basically it's the exact same gimmick that the Dark Order are doing. Blade and Baze are doing the same thing. So it's like it's not working, and apparently Brandy's determined. She wants to be a heel. She wants to work heel, but
Oh, you're saying
is,
Hikaru
but-
Shida? Because
yeah, Hikaru Shida.
on my end, when I hear you say that, it sounds like you're trying to say both Kushida and
Yeah, I know.
Ibushi at the exact same time.
When
Kabushiida.
I say Shida, I think because I think of Kushida. I sometimes will say Kushida. Like, no, it's not that. It's Shida.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing they actually had some women matches on there. But they need to get storylines going because Brandy, who's not the strongest character or woman they have, is the only storyline they have going at the moment, and it's not okay. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
they did a spoof. They did a spoof off of Britt Baker's reaction to Adam Cole's dive at Takeover on the show.
Yeah.
Because when Nia Rose power bombed, I can't think of the woman onto the ref in the match.
That would be Rick Knox.
Yeah, to Rick Knox. They cut to Britt Baker in the audience doing the same look that she did.
Yeah.
So it was a nice little play off of that. See, here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of when they do these little shot pots at WWE. This I'm okay with. Cody's part, he kind of shot at WWE as well in his interview, his promo. I'm okay with because they aren't. It's not clearly WWE. You're not saying WWE, or it's obviously a representation of Triple H's throne.
Right.
Like, it's you have to be paying it. You got to be very well versed. Like that little thing. Okay, great. If you didn't see Takeover, you wouldn't know Britt Baker was there and they got a shot of her. Cody, apparently, I didn't realize this until I actually saw this. That apparently, people have been using Damian Priest is using the Crossroads, and Cody mentioned how someone MJF did it in his match last week.
Yes.
And he's like, well, at least there's people are watching on 2 shows now. So it's a nice little there. That's fine. I'm fine with that because if you're not paying attention, you don't know it.
No, and I mean, what was it? I saw this week MJF put out a tweet explaining to the dumb casual, as I like the fact that this is a heel putting this out there regarding long-term storylines. He was just like, yes, to the dumb PG fans out there, long-term storylines means that we don't have to bash you over the head regarding every single freaking detail, every single show. You got to pay attention, and sometimes part of a story won't show up for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
I was like, oh, finally, somebody, like, I love the fact that he's like, yes, if a storyline's supposed to take place over a year, we're not going to keep mentioning the storyline every single week.
No.
It'll show up like every couple of weeks. And I'm like, that's genius. That's genius right there.
Yeah. And also, I love MJF's spoof on Cody's tweet from when he got his release from WWE, and he put a list of everyone he wanted to wrestle on the independent scene, and MJF was like, "Who I will not wrestle in 2020 or something like that." And it's just Cody.
It's just Cody. I saw
Cody,
that and I was like, that's genius.
Yes, so it was a nice little play off of that. MJF is definitely it's growing on me. Like when he first showed up at All In, and he was just cutting these basic heel promos like every heel does. You can see in him.
Oh yeah, I
he
mean,
had that.
those promos
But
were
he was
purely
just-
to get a reaction from the crowd around him.
And that's the thing, like, because that's what heels do. Like, when you're a heel and you've never been a heel or you're still new to wrestling, you go with what works.
Right. Cheap
But-
heat.
And then a lot of the time, though, when they do it, you can say, you're just doing what everyone else does to get heat because you know it will get heat, but there's nothing to it. Like, you could just say it. But with MJF, you could see that he was doing the same thing, but he had something a little extra.
Oh yeah.
That like, he can be a good heel. He still needs a way to go, but by the time he showed up in January for the announcement of AEW and all that, he had gotten a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But Double Nothing, he was better.
Oh yeah.
And
This
even since
year
then,
for
like-
him has been great.
Yeah, he's gotten so much better, and he's gotten beyond the typical heel promo, which is great. And part of it was, I think, it really has been the last few weeks with his whole buddy friendship with Cody,
Mm-hmm.
and then turning on him has really just pushed him to a whole new level. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't target the audience. He's in a feud. He can target the feud,
Yeah.
and that's where you see it.
Even better is about his feud. Really, you looked at it, and I mean, you can break down that there is complicated emotional stuff going on in that. He was watching a friend who refused to give up in a match where he was clearly outmatched.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he threw in the towel and, came into the ring to be like, you know what, Cody, I did not see you having a chance at winning this, so I threw the towel in. I didn't want you to get injured. I'm looking out for your best interests. And then you can see that Cody was just like, I wasn't interested in that. I could have done that. MJF being like, all right, well, here's one more shot that you're not going to recover from. Nut shot. And it's just like, it's a moment where it's like, that's two friends being like, nah, dude, like, you want to get mad at me? Go ahead and get mad at me. But I'm going to hurt you. And I'm going to show that you can't get past that.
So here's another thing with the MJF. They kind of interesting storyline. Because last week they had the debut of Blaze and Blade.
Yes.
And Allie becoming Bunny. And they attacked Cody during his segment and all that. So it's like, okay, all these segments. He has a feud with MJF going on. Oh, now he's going to have a feud with these guys. And what did we find out this week? Oh, MJF admits that, oh, that's right. He was behind that attack because he has money and he went out and hired them, their services for that. So, which is great. Another little thing, but you had to wait until this week to find that out. Where it was WWE, we would have found out that who that was immediately after.
So officially, it's the Butcher and the Blade.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The Butcher and Blade.
Also, the fact that, if I remember correctly, the Butcher is actually the guitarist for a metal band. But hold on. Yeah, Every Time I Die.
Okay.
Butcher, Andy Williams, is actually a full-time metal guitarist. Who's now going, you know what, screw it. Now I'm a pro wrestler too. I mean, he's been pro wrestling for quite some time. Both of them have. And I'm glad to see another faction showing up.
I wouldn't necessarily call them a faction until they actually. I mean, it's still new, but like it seemed like Bunny is more like the manager at the moment.
Well, yeah. So
yeah, it's a faction. I'd say more of a tag team than anything else, but who knows? We'll see. We definitely need more factions, but we're still building up the inner circle, so that's fine.
Oh, which, by the way, if you guys haven't checked it out, they took over being the Elite for this week. So
I saw that.
And then they gave up on taking over being the Elite when the merch freak himself showed up to freak them out. Merch freak! Okay, you know what? I like it. You know what? More people need to be checking out Being the Elite. It's a funny behind the scenes / extra thing to be. It needs to be promoted on TV a lot more.
So, until they actually advertise it on TV on a regular basis, I won't watch it.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
And then when they start doing that, I'll find another reason not to watch it.
Of course you will.
But yeah, getting back to the point we were talking about with the ratings and everything. Again, it's good to see that the ratings are very close this week.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of favor AEW because we want them to succeed.
We have no idea what we favor AEW. What? No, we don't.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I do because most of my favorite wrestlers are over there. All right.
Yeah. We do because we also want them to succeed because competition, we know, in pro wrestling.
Honestly, I want
better.
every wrestling promotion to actually succeed at whatever it is they're doing.
Vince doesn't want them to succeed because he claims he likes competition. He actually hates it because it means he actually has to do something.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has to actually figure out how to draw an audience.
Yeah. So, but let's move on to the next thing.
It's time for you to rant about AEW and their ramp.
Wait. Did you sure you wrote that down right? I got a rant about AEW?
Yes, you do. Yes, you told me that you had a complaint about AEW, which first of all, I had to go ahead and clean my ears out because I did not hear you correctly. And I had to ask you 2 or 3 times in a row, are you sure we're complaining about AEW and you didn't accidentally watch a mid-1999 version of WCW show?
No. Okay, yeah. So I do have a complaint with AEW. So hopefully Matt, Nick, Cody, Kenny, Tony Khan are listening to this.
Yes.
Because we all know that they're big fans of the show.
Of
right?
course we do.
Obviously.
Huge fans. Huge.
You need to get rid of that stupid elevated ramp to the ring. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. If I'm walking down the ramp and I'm trying to high five because I'm a babyface, I gotta basically squat to high five a fan. And I'm about to go have a fucking match. Do you think I'm gonna squat down more than once?
No.
Actually, I'm not gonna squat down even once. I'm basically become a heel at that point and just tell all the fans to fuck off because I'm not squatting down.
I mean, ECW tried it. It worked a couple of times, and it didn't. I forget what there was a couple of times that it worked for ECW, but that was because there was basically no room around the ring anyway.
Yeah.
So then in that respect it works, but AEW, much like WCW and WWE, uses a very large exterior area around the ring. If you have that ramp in the way, that is 1/4 of the ring of the outside ring area that you just can't use.
Yeah. But the ramp doesn't link completely up to the edge of it, so it makes it even more awkward.
Yep.
And then, so if you're going outside, you're like, well, we won't do stuff over on that side. Unless we're going to be on the ramp, which means you're going to have to fight up the ramp, which just doesn't, you don't have to, if it's not there, you don't have to do. You can just easily go over to either side.
Yep.
It just doesn't look good.
Nope.
There's a reason why ECW stopped using it. It's a reason why WCW stopped using it. It's a reason why Impact stopped using it. WWE, I think, at one point used it, and they didn't use it. New Japan probably even did it. Ring of Honor, I think it did it at one point. It doesn't look good.
No.
Now, when you start doing like the few house shows and all that, and you decide you want to do that, that's fine. It's on TV. It's not on TV. Do what you want. But when I'm watching it on TV, it looks terrible. And I understand is you want the people, your stars, to come out so everyone can see them, but it just doesn't look good.
I'm sorry. If you're a fan and you've bought a floor seat and you're on the far side of the ring and your only complaint about the show is that I didn't get to see everyone coming down to the ring, Yeah, you bought those seats purposely to sit near the ring. Stop complaining.
And even if those were the only seats that were left over, you still could have picked seats somewhere else
Yep.
where you could have seen. You still chose to sit there because you wanted ringside. You knew what you were getting into, so shut the fuck up.
I do have to say one good thing that AEW definitely does regarding visuals is dropping the house lights once the entrances are finished and the match is about to start.
Yeah. And that's fine. But like again, this is ramp. I saw this at Full Gear and the pay-per-view. I'm thinking, please, this better be for a pay-per-view. And by the way, this does not mean just using on pay-per-views. It looks dumb there, even dumb there. Just get rid of it. If you want an extended ramp where people can see people, cut it off before it gets to the ring.
Yes.
It's still gonna look stupid, but at least you had the ring side completely available.
What was it? Impact was doing. No, Ring of Honor used to do that, where halfway down the entrance it would go to stairs.
Yeah, I didn't like that because it's just weird.
I'm not a huge fan of that, but if you want to extend the ramp out from the stage at the stage level for a while and then have the ramp come down, that would be cool. I have no problem with that.
But that's what my thing is, like, if you want to send it out, like some of the old Raw ring stages had extended out, and then they would go down to the floor, and you'd get about maybe 5 feet before you hit the ringside.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was even closer because the space they had in the arena was a smaller arena, so it got really close to the, like, almost to the dead edge of where the ring was gonna be, which is fine. Like, if you want it, great, but make it look good because it right now looks stupid and super amateurish of visual.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it being raised all the way to the ring.
No, it just looks dumb.
Like, there needs to be a cutoff that where either there are stairs that come down to the floor, so the wrestler has to use the ring steps to get into the ring, or you just keep it the way it was.
My thing is, like, here's the thing: more than 6 feet from the stage, the main stage ends, is too far. By that point, you should be starting to go down, and it could be a long ramp to get to the floor level. That's fine, but when you have it the same level, it just stupid.
I didn't like when TNA did it a couple years ago. Well, over a decade ago.
No, they actually were using it not that long ago. I remember seeing it, and thank God they stopped. I think it was right before. I think it was right before they moved the company to Canada.
Oh, okay.
I think it was. I saw it for a little bit. I think they just got rid of it because they were doing so many small arenas. It just served no point.
Which, a quick aside, because this isn't part of our thing, Impact is looking way better and way more entertaining than they have in years.
Yep.
I gotta say, them signing the Dick Master himself, Ryan. Oh God, why am I blanking on his name?
I don't know. Master of the Penaplex?
Yeah, Joey Ryan. Thank you.
I figured that if I said that, you might actually come to you.
Yeah. Them signing Joey Ryan and what they're doing with Tessa Blanchard, what they're doing with everyone in that company, the show has just become entertaining. I'm not saying that they're the best in-ring action, the best promo action. They have done a better job overall of making their shows entertaining. Unlike WWE, who's like, hey, we really just work on promos and occasionally have some decent matches.
Speaking of, because I just realized that we didn't actually put this on the docket.
Oh, God, what did we forget?
Between our next, my next rant
is,
it has been confirmed that John Morrison is returning to WWE.
Yes.
We forgot to put that on the docket.
Even though the news was
and he
broke
said-
like what 2 months ago.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, thanks for letting me know where I've signed. Please let me know when I'm signed to Ring of Honor and AEW or New Japan."
I'm willing to bet he was not
obviously-
officially signed at that moment. They were in like final negotiations.
It's possible. I mean, we don't know for sure if
No.
that's true. That's what I posed to you beforehand. I think that he was signed and they weren't happy he got out yet, or they were in final negotiations. They got out and they just said, "Okay, we're gonna keep this quiet and then we'll finish the deal and then we'll get there."
Yeah.
Now, John, I hope for life of God that you were smart and said you're gonna come back and you're not gonna get the Shelton Benjamin treatment. You'll actually be used well
Yeah.
because you've earned your spot on the independent scene. So
I would actually like to see him spend more time in NXT at first.
so would I. I would love to see him in NXT. I think it'd be a great addition for NXT.
But
But here's my thing:
Yeah.
is John confirmed once the news was broken on WWE Backstage, saying, "Yes, I'm so glad to be trained to WWE and be sharing the square circle with the best in the business." Only to have CM Punk respond to, "Bro, Will Ospreay's in New Japan."
oh my God, that's awesome.
And
That
then
is
Will Ospreay
awesome.
responded to then Will Ospreay responded to that. It's like, Am I blushing? I'm blushing, right?
Go.
So
I like the fact one of the things that I'm disappointed that in the current world of the current stage of pro wrestling that we don't get to see is another match between or a match on a grander scale between Ricochet and Ospreay.
yeah,
Partly because of the fact that they're both high flying ninjas.
yeah,
and I want to see them doing I mean the match with at Defiant or WCPW where they basically mirrored each other at the beginning of the match just to be like, I can do this. I mean, what was it, the Ricochet and Velveteen Dream where Velveteen Dream was like, I can do this, and Ricochet's like, well, I can do this, and they started one-upping each other. I would love to see that with Will Ospreay on a WWE, an NXT, a New Japan, AEW stage between the two of them, but we're not going to get that for quite some time.
yeah. So it was definitely interesting that a little comment I had something there because it was such a great little response to it, and so glad CM Punk has the answer to WWE.
No, he
as
doesn't.
being part of backstage. All right, we're gonna move on to my next rant. This
Yes.
won't be that long, but I have to comment on it
Okay.
because I think the storyline that this is involved in is stupid. But I'm not gonna really talk about that. But I have to give at least some context. This past week on Raw, Bobby Lashley and Lana got arrested by their own security because they were Nashville police and they're there to protect Bobby from Rusev, who snuck in, laid out Bobby, and got away. And they were pissed that they didn't do their jobs. And Bobby shoulder bumps one of the cops on the way out, so he gets arrested. Then Lana freaks out and slaps the guy, so she gets arrested. So they have now officially released their mugshots. And if this is an official mugshot, LA, you need to get the camera and the lighting setup that Nashville has for their mugshots because
Oh, it's beautiful.
they are beautiful.
I wish I
Okay.
could get arrested and have my mugshot looking that good. Knowing me, I'd look more like Gary Busey.
With a drunk Johnny Depp face.
Oh yeah, no, it would be the drunken arrested love child of Gary Busey and Johnny Depp at the exact same. Yeah, I would not be pretty in any way.
No.
Actually, knowing my luck, I would look like Bruce Willis. Pre-shaved head Bruce Willis.
Yeah. So if you have not seen the mugshots find them.
Go find them.
This is clearly WWE's photo team in the back made Lana look like she's been a rough time, but you had the nice little shine on her neck, the highlighting of her bosom. There's some shadow there, but you can obviously hide. These are professional photos, doctored to look like they're mugshots. No, they're not. WWE, if you really want to do something like this, here's an idea. Go to a police station and see if you can just say, "Hey, we're doing a storyline. We need some mugshots. Could we bring them in?"
Exactly.
Do that. And if not, it's not that hard to figure out how police stations do mugshots and actually set that up in your backstage and do a real mugshot.
Yeah, even if you
that looks like
took them down to the police station, them had their picture taken as a mugshot.
Yep.
Because it's a super harsh lighting. It's not. Yep. It's never pretty.
Nope. But this one is the way the light hits both Bobby and Lana. It's clear as day. This is professional.
Oh God, yeah.
Doctored it all up, and it's just like, come on, WWE. Do you really think that low of your fans that people are actually gonna buy that?
Do you really want an answer to that question?
Yes, I do. But not from you. I want it from Vince.
All right. Well, comment, you fans, go ahead and leave a comment down below answering Tim's question on that one. Just go right down there. Leave the comment. It would be awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on.
If I text this to Vince McMahon, tweet Vince McMahon, if he'll get back to me about this.
Yes. All right, moving on. We got injury updates. Xavier Woods, Samoa Joe. I mean, I'm hoping that Xavier Woods is coming back soon. I mean, then again, it is an ACL tear, so, an Achilles tear.
Yeah, hold your breath on that one.
I don't want to hold my breath. I'll probably die or turn blue or suddenly go.
So, according to this, it doesn't really give where he's at in his recovery, but it just says that he was originally scheduled to be reevaluated by the doctors in July.
Mm-hmm.
This has been pushed up to May.
Okay.
Is when he's going to be reevaluated.
I mean, that could just mean that he's because Achilles tear, you have to have surgery.
Yep.
It means that he's probably responding well to the surgery. That and maybe WWE was not exactly happy when he showed up at Rooster Teeth headquarters and helped them out with their Extra Life charity and gave everyone chops there. Oh yeah, okay, fans. I don't know if you guys are Rooster Teeth fans at all, but go check out the highlights of their Extra Life charity event. Xavier Woods gives everyone a chop on stage, and one of the best ones is Blaine, one of their big muscle guys. He gets a single chop across the chest, and it nearly drops him to his knees. And the best part is, like, these are not they're just the open hand slap chops. They're not knife edge chops. There's no step through, because Xavier Woods is one-legged. This is just arm. This is just a slap across the chest. And I'm like, those don't look like that powerful.
But just so you know, the difference between an open palm and a knife edge chop is only the difference is when you throw the knife edge chop is you do a knife edge, and the very minute you tilt your hand up and basically hit him with an open palm.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this is just a right hand across the body chop. Oh, and he does the vertical chop on somebody's back, which actually did drop somebody to their knees.
Damn. But yeah, so
I have coworkers do it to me every day.
He's being reevaluated in May, which wouldn't be the quickest return time from Achilles injury. Edge had his happen in July when he did years ago.
Yep.
It was returned for Royal Rumble. So, But
That's 6 months.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But so don't expect Xavier Woods to be back anytime soon.
Yeah, no. I mean, if he was going for that 6 month, if he was going to do 6 months as well, it would be sometime around or just after WrestleMania.
Yeah. This is because originally it was set up for July. So they moved it up a few months. So they're probably assuming that his therapy is probably going well, and they want to reevaluate him for there. Joe, who was just added as an official member of the Raw commentary team, because he's waiting for his where is it? Hold on.
What was his injury? That's a really good. That's a great question, Adam. You know, maybe Tim should have done some research regarding a topic that he said to add to the list of things that we were going to talk about this week.
Hey, I was reading the article because I had to find it. I thought it was this, but I wanted to make sure. He injured his thumb.
Okay, yeah, that's of all injuries, I would have think that Xavier Woods would have had a thumb injury first. All those stupid video games that he's playing. I wouldn't be caught dead playing stupid video games. By the way, go ahead and check out tomorrow's new episode of NEWA's second ever pay-per-view. This is Blood Feud. Blood Feud!
So, yes, he's been injured. He has an injured thumb. He's supposed to be reevaluated on December 30th. He'll be reevaluated.
Oh, okay, so the end of the month.
In the meantime, he's been added to on the Raw commentary team. So, which is good for that. What else we got, Adam, on the docket?
Next up, we've very quietly, the WWE Network has released a free tier version of their subscription.
Yes. So if you are not familiar with this, WWE's been teasing this basically since the network launched.
Yes.
About possibly going to a tier system. And then Vince brought it up that they were actually going to be working on this like a year or two ago.
Something like that.
During a stockholders meeting, and they talked about possibly starting to launch that later this year. People thought it was going to be around SummerSlam, but it's not. I kind of keep forgetting about it, and that's what I think they keep hoping people will forget about. But this morning, this is Thursday, by the way, we're recording on, as a reminder, they had quietly released the free version of the tier. It's a bunch of a rotating carousel at the top. Things are locked because it's free, and as they release they do other tiers and everything, I'm assuming it'll open up. I don't have the exact models of the tiers because we don't know what kind of tiers they're going to have. We only know from surveys that they reached out to fans for on different tiers. But the one tier that was rumored to be the most expensive one, $14.99 for a month, would include basically what you already get now with the network, but you'd also get non-WWE indie wrestling content on there. We don't know for sure that's indie content still coming.
So
but that was rumored as one of it. And if they do, that's possibly coming around January 2020.
So that's like Evolve, Progress.
Yeah, basically all the little indie companies that WWE has deals with. And yes, because you can't see me, because I'm John Cena.
You're not John Cena. You have way too much hair.
Yes. But so that's the thing. Yeah, so if you haven't seen this out, if you're like one of us who doesn't want to pay for an entire network because the company's lazy and their network specials, air quotes again, are not worth $9.99.
I literally keep paying my monthly $9.99 simply because of right now the network specials. Honestly, I should be checking out like all of the classic library that they've got.
Yeah, I said I was going to do that too when I first got the network, but never really did. Didn't care for that. But it'll be interesting to see as this tier system rolls out if what we'll get from it. I think it'll be interesting to see, especially if they offer a pay-per-view only tier where you get all the pay-per-views but nothing else. How many people will only sign up for that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I think it's a good idea because if you only watch like the NXT takeovers and the monthly pay-per-views, it's actually a good idea to do a tier system. But for those who are hardcore wrestling fans from past eras who still want that old content, it's a good deal to have whatever you're going to use it for. But if you're not going to use the whole thing, why pay for the whole thing? So, all right, Adam, what's next in the docket?
Next up, it looks like 2K is cutting their budget for the next WWE game.
What? Why would they ever do that? Those games are just so high quality and awesome and sell amazing.
It's because WWE 2K20 is not selling at the numbers they want it to. There might be a reason why it's not selling well.
You hold your tongue, sir.
No,
seriously.
I'm still like, I still haven't got a copy of it. 2K19, yeah. I'm still playing it. I'm still running New England Wrestling Alliance through it. I would love to play 2K20, but it doesn't seem like it really doesn't seem like 2K is all that interested in keeping the WWE franchise as a top tier franchise anymore.
Maybe not. I mean, it's been patched twice now, and it's still not good.
No, I mean, I understand
a lot of the issues.
I understand patching things and doing all of that stuff, but if you're going to, the problems that they need to patch with this game are visuals at this point.
Yep.
You can't patch a visual.
I mean, you always have new patches come out for a game. WK19 had them constantly to fix minor things for the most part. I think there may have been one big update patch you kind of needed to get, but it was nowhere on the level of 2K20 patching. So it's just like, it's dumb. And like I saw in my 2K19, the ropes still glitch and get dragged out. Heck, I had a matchup where two wrestlers were wrestling outside. The person I was playing, foot got locked onto the ring barricade. I could not get back in the ring. It would not let me get in the ring. Luckily, I was going for a double count out finish for the match. And so that helped, but it's still like I couldn't get in. And this game is over a year old, and something they never fixed. So this is gonna happen, but the glitches that they had for 2K20, oh my god, that should never happen at a release of a game that comes out every year. And if you're not familiar with video games, listeners, that when a video game doesn't do well and there's going to be a sequel already automatically because of because it's a sports game like WWE 2K series is, it gets the budget cut because it didn't sell well. That's the dumbest thing to do. Now I understand it didn't sell well because it didn't sell well, so you didn't make as much money. You don't want to put as much money into the next one. But here's the thing. Why would you do that? Because if you know there's a specific reason why it's not selling well, because it's a terrible game and lots of glitches and everything, well, you keep the same budget, you can fix that, you make a better game the next year, and then voila, the game will sell better, and then you won't have to worry about it. But if you do all that and it doesn't sell well, then just it's time not to make a sequel. Cancel the game and move on. But no, I mean, yes, W2K20 was terrible. Needs a lot of work, but to cut the budget of 2K21 means the game is just going to be bad next year, and it's gonna sell just as bad, and you have to cut the budget even more because it's not selling.
Exactly.
Because you can't make a good game.
Yeah, make a good
a
game
small budget.
and no one will complain. Like, I hate hearing about it. Hey, we made a shitty game and no one's buying our game, so the next game we're going to cut the budget and we're not going to increase. We're not going to make a good game, so probably no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, it's the stupidest mind frame. Now, if it's an absolute outright flop, then you just don't make another game, period, obviously. But when you have a sports game like WWE 2K, which I use sports
It's a loose
vague
sports thing, but yeah.
because it's basically in that genre. It's a sports simulation game in a sense. You know there's going to be another one. If you cut the budget and you had a terrible game this year because of circumstances, which and all that, it's not going to help with it. And here's the thing, and the person who broke the news, I can't remember who said it, who it was. He was a former writer for WWE SmackDown vs. Raw series. He heard double digits of people from 2K have quit.
Oh yeah.
Not because they were fired, or just they just wanted to get away from the stink of this thing. They wanted to get out of, not be near it, touch it, just get out of there.
Well, I mean,
these are people who are quitting with not another job lined up.
Yeah.
That's how bad this is.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of.
2K also has had issues with this year's NBA game too.
Ah, interesting.
So I think overall, like, I don't know if there was a change at 2K, regarding, management or whatever. But overall, they seem to have just decided, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to have a shitty year. And then we're going to blame the fans for not buying our shitty game.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, but AEW, if you're gonna get a video game out, now's the time because everyone wants a hot, good wrestling game again.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be the time. And since you have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, at least 3 VPs, executive vice presidents who play video games, I think it's a good chance that we're gonna get a video game.
Oh, probably.
All right, what's next on the docket, dude?
Next up, we've got a return to NXT. Ladies and gentlemen, Kushida is back after a short hiatus due to injury.
Yes, he was injured during his match with Walter.
Yes.
A few weeks ago.
Broke his wrist.
Yes, I believe it was his wrist. He in the NXT UK championship match that he had when he challenged, which he lost. He injured his wrist, so he's been off TV recovering.
Mm-hmm.
But he has returned, which is great because he's been doing, from what I've heard of Kushida in NXT, he's basically doing what he was doing in New Japan.
Oh, totally. And
with minor tweaks to kind of just make it a little bit more accessible to American audience.
Yeah.
But he still gets to do what he wants to do with it, and he still gets to be Kushida, which is great.
Yeah.
It goes to show you when not Vince, but Triple H, when he does bring popular people over from the indies who have a unique gimmick or style, he knows who he can change and who he can't change very well.
Oh, I mean,
he's a very excellent track record for NXT. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at
Vince does not.
You look at like Ricochet. Really, Ricochet, all it was, there was almost no difference. Adam Cole, instead of the Bullet Club, it's Undisputed Era. Yep. Kushida, he's still the Time Splitter. Walter, Walter's the same on the indie and with NXT. It's wonderful that he's bringing people in and going, no, the fans like your character the way it currently is. We're not really going to change that. We're not going to suddenly be like, all right, well, now you're the ringmaster.
We're gonna tweak what you are to fit in with WWE a little bit better.
Yep.
In our style, but it's going to be minor tweaks. But then you get someone like, say, like Sami Zayn, who they change and where they would take the characteristics of what worked and play it.
Yes.
Whereas Kevin Owens, he came over, no, he had that following that they wanted. And he actually, I think to this date, he's still one of the few indie stars that they signed who came over, who a majority of his indie-based fan base actually came over to NXT.
Probably.
Maybe it may have changed with like Adam Cole and all that, but like when he first came over, they were thrilled to see a bunch of his fans who didn't watch WWE were watching WWE now, NXT, when he came over. So it's really interesting, this thing. So Kushida, welcome back. Hopefully you'll get on there with TakeOver one of these days.
Hopefully. I mean, one of the good things about takeovers is that either there has been a storyline is built to a takeover or it's part of a championship match. And, I mean, it's not like WWE who just will randomly throw matches at a pay-per-view and be like, hey, someone pay attention to this crap.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What they're doing for TLC?
Yeah. Anyway, we've got another return this week. Ronaldo came back to a standing ovation.
Yes, he did.
The NXT fans love this man.
Okay, so if you've never been into the here at Full Sail, into a live taping here at Full Sail of NXT, the NXT fans here just react to the people there with love. When Carla comes out for ring announcing, and she always comes out, she's always the first one out to let people know how things are going. We're going to be starting soon. And if she's coming out, people will start chanting, Carla, Carla. So, like, and when she does the announcements before TV even started taping, because I've only been to a TV taping, I've not been to the live episodes yet.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully during Christmas break, I'll actually be able to get to one.
Have some time to actually be able to go.
Actually just go out and stand in line for tickets.
Yeah.
That's more what it is. But when she does announces the commentators, when they come out, they erupt. So when Ronaldo came out, he already got a great reception.
Mm-hmm.
So him coming back after this whole stupid, shitty situation, I can only imagine the love the NXT fans gave him.
Oh, yeah.
Him coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And the rumor going around is, I wouldn't even say it's a rumor, but what was going around is that Ronaldo over the weekend said it was determined to come back this week.
I mean, he really, I love him. I love him, but I don't know how bad his anxiety / depression / whatever it really is that gets triggered.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he's able to live with it the way he does. And honestly, the fact that he's able to, yes, I mean, it was 2 weeks that he was off. Really, it was like a week and a half, but whatever. I look at that and I'm just like, so, I mean, he missed Sunday and Wednesday, and then came back the Wednesday after. Really, it's just like, it's one of those that really he got 2 days off from work.
Yeah.
Because a fellow coworker said something that would trigger somebody.
Yeah. The one thing I will say this, like, I love Ronaldo's story and how outspoken he is about his anxiety and his mental illness, and but it goes to show you that you can still achieve a high level with these elements when you acknowledge them.
Yep.
And you know about it. You can still, it's not gonna prevent you from succeeding and all that, which is really great. And I think that's the other part of it, because the NXT fans love him so much, and because because of this, and he's coming back so quickly and insisting, it just kind of just shows like, no, he wants to be there, and the fans wanted to show the respect for what he went through and show that to him. And especially for in this culture in this country right now, when it comes to mental illness, where it can still be shunned So, but that's great. So Ronaldo, welcome back. Glad you're back. And hopefully Corey Graves will keep his mouth shut from now on. All right, Adam, what's next on the docket?
All right, next up we've got some contract speculation.
Ooh.
The first one, of course, is for me it's kind of the big one. There was an interview with Tommaso Ciampa, and he made a comment that if he was ever brought up to the main roster, he would just retire.
Yes.
And I mean, I look at it and I'm just like, yeah, from a standpoint of his stature in NXT, and seeing the botch of a call up earlier this year that happened. I look at it and go, yeah, how old is he? He's what? He's late 30s?
Yeah, I think so. So here's the thing I want to point out. You said a botch of a call up. We can't really call it a botch of a call up. But it's one of those things where it's because he was treated very, very well in the 2 weeks he was there.
He's 34.
He's 34. Beat ya.
Seriously, he's
I love how
34.
we're both-
What the?
We were both doing the exact same thing.
All right. I mean, the plus side, he's just barely taller than me, so.
Yeah. Well, so we can't really call him and Johnny Gargano's call up a botch. What was a botch was that Vince didn't give a shit enough about what was going on in NXT to say, oh, Triple H is actually using these guys in a big storyline.
Yep.
I'm not going to call them up. He didn't care. But when they were on the roster, they were actually used very well. They were pushed. They didn't get creamed or anything. Doesn't mean that over a long term, by this time this year, if they stayed, they wouldn't have been. But so it wasn't necessarily a botch, but seeing what has happened in the past, absolutely. But because I read the same article that you're kind of talking about over the weekend, and I was like, good for him, because his whole point was when he was coming back was that he's thinking, I just had major neck surgery. Not that long ago before that, I was returning from a major knee surgery. My bump card is ticking down quickly. I don't have any more bumps left in me.
No, he doesn't.
And in the time frame he works with NXT, he could work another 5 years with them and be fine. Whereas on the main roster, he could go through those same amount of bumps and matches in 3 months. So he's just looking at it, no, I don't want to be paralyzed. I don't want to overwork this. And he's also thinking about, because he now has a daughter, so he's thinking like, I want to spend time with her. So he's thinking about all these different things, and he's like, you know what? I'm in a great position with NXT.
Yes.
I know Triple H is going to use me well because I'm a big star. I'm a star there. What's the point of risking going to the main roster where, for my health, it's not going to be the good thing? My family's not going to be a good thing. Maybe the money may be a good thing, but at the same time, maybe not, because if he's getting buried and he's not being used. So it makes sense. I think it's a great thing that he decided to do that for that. And I think more people in NXT need to say, you know what? The main roster isn't worth it.
No.
Right now.
No, it's not worth it right now.
And that's the thing. Like, you're not going to get people who are going to be saying, like, I'm going to retire, because Tommaso actually has that in his back pocket because he just came back from major neck surgery.
Yep.
He can use that. The only thing, if other people in NXT who say, no, I don't want to go to the main roster because I'm not going to be used well or whatever, all they can really do is like, you know what? If you move me to the main roster, I'm going home. I'm not even going to show up for Monday.
Nope.
I'm not going to show up for Friday. I'm going home and going to make you sit me out my contract.
Yep.
You're gonna pay me my contract.
Yeah,
And,
I wish there was more people that would just kind of stand up for themselves on that one and go, look,
yep.
no one is being used very well on the main roster. You don't have any stars, and the stars that you do have aren't even being presented as stars.
Nope.
You have a champion who never shows up.
Yep.
Why you keep putting a belt on that guy, I'm not sure. Yeah, just overall, I'm just like, you've created an environment of mediocrity where you want people to compete with each other to climb higher. But even if you do, because of 50-50 booking, no one looks good anymore.
But it also goes back to, like, it's constantly hear this from writers who've left WWE recently. There's an audience of one.
Yeah.
And they all know it's Vince. If Vince wants it, he's going to hold for it.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to write for him, or he's going to turn down your ideas if he doesn't like it. Which is one of the reasons why the Rusev, Lana, Bobby Lashley storyline is getting so much time, because he loves it.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Nope. And then, but it's also just like the whole, like, I just read an article by Kofi Kingston this week where we talked about the backstory behind him losing to Brock Lesnar, and he didn't know until he got to the arena that day how quick the match was. And he's like, it was never about losing to Brock.
No.
He understood that his time was kind of running down as champ. He understood that. He's all about it. He had an issue with how long. And he fought to get a longer match because he thought the story we could tell with that.
Mm-hmm.
Big E has come out and said that Kofi handled this thing far better than he did, because he was furious when he heard about that.
Well, yeah, you hear about that. Those stories, you hear about how Daniel Bryan went to bat for Kofi Kingston so that they could have a WrestleMania match.
Yep.
To the point that
today as well.
It was not directly said, but it was very much hinted at that Daniel Bryan was very tempted to no-show WrestleMania if he didn't get Kofi.
Yep, and because the plan was to be Kevin Owens, and in the same article I read about this, is Kevin Owens has stated, like, no, like walking out of Elimination Chamber, he knew it had to be Kofi in there. So when it got switched to Kofi, he was fine with it because he understood, because he comes from the independent realm where he understands when you have something that was working out and firing on all cylinders, you go with that.
Yes. You
So
go with
it's not
the
back in the
person
day
who
that-
is hottest at that moment.
It's not back like we even in the Attitude Era, or even before that, where it's like everyone's backstabbing each other because they want to be on the top.
No.
No, the locker room is very cohesive. Should you be fighting for yourself?
Yes.
Absolutely. But when you see someone's time come because it's on fire, you put yourself back behind them because it's their time. Because you know what? You go to bat for that guy when it's his time. He'll go to bat for you when it's your time.
Yep.
And if he doesn't, it tells you something about that person, and you know not to do it the next time, and you know it comes back on that person.
All right. We've got
So,
one
that's the
more
thing.
contract.
So it's a great one thing. So
crying
it's a good
out
thing to say overall with the whole, like with Tommaso Ciampa deciding, like, nope, I'm NXT.
Yeah.
So, and yes, we do have one more contract thing. So who's
Adam-
going to be part of this contract signing and take over at NXT this week? Oh wait, you're actually talking about real contracts.
Yeah, real contracts.
Oh, my bad.
Adam
okay.
Cole.
I was confused.
I'm not entirely sure when his contract is coming up. I think it's like 2021, somewhere around there.
He could be coming up pretty soon. He's been with the company for a few years,
Yeah.
so it all depends on how long he actually signed for.
But his contract is coming up soon, and there are a lot of rumors that he may stay with NXT. If he does stay with NXT, it will be because he's making main roster money at the NXT level. At the same time, though, he has friends and his girlfriend with AEW, which I feel that main roster is not the place for Adam Cole. He's too small for a Vince type of situation and will get buried once he gets up there.
Yep. So let's make it very clear. Right now, everyone who is airing on NXT on USA Network has been moved to a main roster contract. This was something that came up back when they first announced NXT was going to the USA Network. So if you don't know is that you have your developmental contract and you have a main roster contract. So basically, when you go from NXT to national television, that's the change. Basically, you're going from non-television to television. Well, now the non-television we're going to television. So, and then because of the money they were making from USA on the deal, which is not a whole lot, from what I understand, but it's actually a pretty good deal for both companies, USA and WWE. Where because of it, they said they rose everyone up who's going to be a mainstay to a main roster contract to make more money.
Yeah, but it's not main roster money though.
It's not like you're going to be. It's not the bump in pay. Maybe if you could make an argument for Adam Cole, but he'd be at the very low end tier, probably.
Yeah, I mean he would be making like low end tier Raw, Monday Night Raw money.
Yeah. But they did all get a pay raise because they were going to be on TV. How much was probably based on each player, but it's not the same kind of money you get when you get to the main roster. And from my understanding before this was that the idea was when you go to the main roster, that's like your big pay raise because you've made it to TV. We can invest in you, and that's usually when NXT go from like 60, 75,000 a year to like 100, 150,000 a year.
Yeah.
On that bump. Not including like merchandise or anything like that.
Right.
So
which by the way,
it sounds like
there's some new merchandise coming out soon. May or may not have seen a certain Tommaso Ciampa shirt coming out soon. Goldie, Daddy's home. That's all I got to say about that one.
All right, what's next on the docket, man?
All right, the last bit, and by the way, I personally think Adam Cole and the entire Undisputed Era, if they are not going to be used at the main roster level properly, go over to AEW. Just straight up, don't be Undisputed something or other. The Era of Undisputed. with some other with that pissant of a company over in Florida.
See, out of all the people in Undisputed Era, Adam Cole's the only one I could really see going over AEW.
Yes.
I think Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly have done so well in the tag division that they'd stick around, and Triple H knows from their career for the Ring of Honor they've both been world champions over there, so he could position in the right mind frame, right storylines and everything. He could get them to a world championship in NXT.
Yep.
Roderick Strong has just done so much better since he actually joined the Undisputed Era.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see him sticking around with them too. He could possibly, go to AEW, but I just don't know if he'd be as big of a star over there as he is with NXT. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly definitely could be big stars wherever they go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just not sure. Maybe he could, but who knows? Only time will tell. But here's the thing, and I don't think we have to tell these guys this: that when your contracts come due, you make sure you say, I'm reaching out to AEW, and just so you know, they give me a great deal. You better fucking match it, and not just match it, but beat it.
Yeah.
Or I'm gone.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Next up, we've got I don't know if you can hear the clicks.
I can hear it, but I don't know if they can.
The List of Jericho has come to AEW. Wait, I'm sorry. It's not the List of Jericho. It's the Lexicon of Jericho. Man, I gotta say that's show closer right there, baby. The Lexicon of Jericho. A man whose promos for the last 10 weeks have taken one pot shot at WWE, and they're all feints of pot shots. Like, who wears a scarf while talking to MJF, ripping on Jack Swagger's old character. Jack Hager's old character of Jack Swagger. I absolutely love it. And there might be, he may have hinted at a fellow villain coming to AEW who currently does not have a contract with Ring of Honor.
I don't know about this. There's no villain. Like, there's not like this missing guy or anything like from the Elite or anything who still needs to come over. No, oh no.
I mean,
you're just reading. You're Adam.
Yeah.
You're like one of those fanboys who are just hoping for way more than what's actually there. It's just a promo.
It's Marty Scurll. I want Marty Scurll to come over, and I want him to come over in a way that, one, either no one's expecting, or it's very obvious that he's coming over.
Yeah.
Like, when he joined the Bullet Club at Ring of Honor's, was it War of the Worlds or Final Battle? I forget which one.
I think it was a World of Worlds.
Okay. He was brought in by Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And it was the crazy cleaner Kenny Omega, which right now we're getting the crazy cleaner Kenny Omega as a character. I want to see him just be like, look, I need a hand. I need someone. I need a villain. And like, as he's cutting that, you hear Marty's music hit with that whoop whoop, and because you know that audience would immediately give him a huge pop for coming over.
So here's the thing: what I want.
Yeah.
When Marty Scurll is coming over, I want the Inner Circle to tease a new member.
Okay.
And so the Elite is you bring him out, you bring out a guy, and the guy's wearing a mask. You can almost look like a luchador like thing.
Okay.
Like, so you don't know who it is, and it's just like, they have to do the whole it's 5 on it's like 6 on 5, and like you just like, whoa. And he did, the new member debuts like the week before. He's like, okay, well, yeah, you have your new member. He saved you last week. Well, you're forgetting that the Elite used to be. It wasn't the Elite 5. It was the Elite 6. Whoop whoop. And then you have Marty Scurll come out. But here's the thing. It's Marty Scurll who's the new member of the Inner Circle. He turns on the Elite because he thought they were dead and they didn't let him know. So he turns on him and he joins the Inner Circle.
Okay, all right.
He beats up the new guy. It's like, this is just a stand-in.
Yeah, he immediately. I would like for him to play out the continued joke of the Elite all playing the joke that he's dead and him believing that his friends are dead.
Yep.
But I would like it for it to be that it's Adam Page who's the first one to see Marty in the back and just be like, guys, I think I just saw a ghost. And somebody immediately is just like, so you saw Joey again?
He's alive. Don't you remember? His penis druids carried you off out of All In.
And Paige start to freak out for a second. And he's like, nope, don't remember that, and walk away.
Yeah. See, that should be on being the Elite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's totally going to be a being the Elite thing. But I would like for Adam Page to be the one.
But you don't see Marty. You don't actually see Marty Scurll. He comes in saying he saw a ghost.
Yeah.
And you build to that. But yeah, that would be kind of fun. Like, I am looking forward to seeing Marty Scurll come in.
Yeah.
Because I miss not predicting Marty Scurll
to win. It's Scurll, the villain.
It's Scurll. I'm still waiting for him to show up one of these days and go like, it's Scurll. And he says it to you. He's like, and he just grabs your hand and he does like He does like his normal like villain thing.
I brace my fingers. Not my fingers. I have to type with these fingers.
I gotta put shirts into the kiln with these fingers.
Yeah. I have to print shirts with these fingers.
But yeah, so it was interesting. We do know Murray Squirrel has a match at Final Battle.
Yes.
Next Friday, a week from this week. I actually think we're gonna be adding that Final Battle to our predictions next week, and then Final Battle may be the only predictions we do if WB doesn't decide to get off their ass and actually, put a card up for TLC. Adam, I think that are we done? I feel like we're done. Are we done?
That's everything.
Wow.
It's like 15 minutes early for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. We got quick. We gotta do something to fill the time. Our fans expect an hour and a half show.
No, they don't. Not at all.
That's right. They expect a 6-hour show condensed into an hour and a half. We still have like 4 hours, dude. We gotta fill this time somehow. I got it. Let's do. We'll hum our theme song entrant for the next 6 hours.
No, we're not going to do that at all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to us for an hour and 15, 16, 17, some odd minutes. Who knows? You're clearly liking what we're talking about, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up. You're liking listening to me at least, so give us a thumbs up for that.
Yes.
While you're at it, go down to the comment section. Let us know what you thought of NXT and AEW's show this week. What side of the war are you going to side with? And before you do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring the bell.
Ding ding!
And get bent like Mario Squirrel's umbrella after he's hit someone with it.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.